you got yourself a Nintendo Switch and you're thinking about getting some games, but you really don't know where to start. Well, look no further. I'm going to get you guys sorted with 5 awesome recommendations that I hope you guys enjoy as much as I personally have. As always, I will have Amazon affiliate links down in the description below, so if you guys would like to purchase them, you can purchase them through those. It gives us a little bit of a kickback so we can keep on bringing some awesome content to you guys. So starting us off at number 1 is Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is an epic action adventure through a vast, ruined kingdom of insects and heroes. Explore twisting caverns, battle tainted creatures, and befriend bizarre bugs, all in a classic hand-drawn 2D style. So if you're a fan of Metroidvania-inspired games that are a little bit difficult and a little bit on the unforgiving side, this game is a perfect fit for you. It has a nice blend of Dark Souls-inspired themes, such as limited saving checkpoint type of things that they use as benches versus bonfires. They have a similar kind of phantom system from Dark Souls where if you die you lose all your stuff, but you get like one shot to recover it all. A nice interesting twist though with this particular game is that it actually forces you to fight your shadow self. So if you're like me and you died right next to a boss and you went to go recover that stuff, there's no recovering it, because if you get stuck in that boss's kind of AoE hit range, you're pretty much toast and you can say goodbye to all those hard-earned bug coins. Hollow Knight for me was gifted through an anonymous viewer, so thank you so much for that. It meant a lot to me, but if you'd like to get your own copy, you can actually purchase it for $14.99 on the Nintendo eShop store. And for $15, it's a really great steal of a game, especially considering how much content is available in it and just how beautifully orchestrated the music and art style is. Coming up in spot 2 is a twin-stick co-op shooter called Enter the Gungeon. So if you're like me and you were a fan of the old Gauntlet games on Nintendo 64 and even the older arcade version, this game is going to fit in quite nicely. Enter the Gungeon is a bullet hell dungeon crawler following a band of misfits seeking to shoot, loot, dodge roll, and table flip their way to personal absolution by reaching the legendary Gungeon's ultimate treasure, the gun that can kill a past. Select a hero and battle your way to the bottom of the Gungeon by surviving a challenging and evolving series of floors filled with dangerously adorable gun-dead and fearsome Gungeon bosses armed to the teeth. So this game really is gun-centric, so there's tons of stuff from like punny guns, like shooting fish in a barrel, to pop culture weapons like the proton pack from Ghostbusters. There's a little bit of everything here for everybody, and the humor is pretty top-notch. Out of the 4 playable characters, you have a couple guy options, you have a couple girl options, and they each have their own unique backstories as well as personal quirks and weaponry that they're able to use. If you go with like the Marine, for example, he'll have a lot more steadier aim, and he'll start with a Master Chief-esque battle suit, so that gives him a little bit extra buff. But everyone's a little bit different. The Hunter starts out with like an extra pistol and a crossbow, so you get like a nice variation there. But beyond that though, the key point here is the procedural generation, and kind of once you die you got to restart from everything and kind of try to get your way down to where you were again. There are things like elevators you can unlock, so if you've already been to like level 3, you can go up to level 1 or 3. It gives you some nice flexibility in case you're kind of itching for a difference after getting your butt kicked 5 times in a row. Again, this can be found in the Nintendo Switch eShop for $14.99. You can also find it on sale for about $11 or $10. That's what I picked it up at, and I would say even for $14, for the amount of content you're getting and the free updates, especially the advanced Gungeons and Dragoons, you're getting a very great deal out of it. Third up on this list is a wonderful little cheery, kind of also morbid indie game following the same kind of permadeath sort of vibe, and that is Bomber Crew for the Nintendo Switch. Bomber Crew is a World War II strategic bombing sim where completing the objective is just as important as keeping your crew alive, as death is permanent. Take to the skies in this immersive flight simulation where each mission is a high-risk expedition. Manage everything from fuel, ammo, hydraulics, and more in your very own physics-based bomber, which can be customized with an array of liveries and paint jobs. So if you're like me and you kind of enjoy the World War II setting, and you just kind of enjoy, you know, physics-based games with permadeath elements added in, then this game is going to be right up your alley. The customization options, at least for your pilots, your gunners, your just crew members in general, and the plane itself is pretty vast. So you can specialize them, you can give them more thermal protection, you can give them more survivability in the case they need to bail out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Other than that though, the game's missions are a little bit cut and copy paste. They usually involve bombing a certain target, and they might have a secondary objective that requires you to go take pictures of a enemy installation or something like that. Now, the game's difficulty level does go up the further you go on the game, so it's always recommended to kind of be on top of your upgrades, whether that's upgrading your turrets to better turrets or upgrading your bomber's actual armor plating, and also its fuel capacity is pretty key in this example. Your crew members will get special skills, whether that be better fuel consumption or even faster fuel consumption for a speed boost, or actually better aiming and also like auto-fed turrets, so that way your guys don't have to run back and forth grabbing ammunition all the time. Although the game is only $14.99, I would argue it's worth it, but get it at $10 if you can. It's a little bit of a gem, and it's been around for a little bit of time, especially on the PC market. The only other thing I can really say about it, there are some hiccups that come along with it, but I'm sure with future updates this will be kind of a more smoother oriented Switch game that will kind of fit nicely in your collection. So next up on the list is an actual physical copy that I have, and you can pick it up physical if you can find this exact version. Otherwise, the eShop version of the games will be perfectly fine. I'm pretty sure you can get everything with the DLC bundled for a generous price, but for $29.99 USD, this physical version of Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition is a stellar buy. In the box you get an assortment of goodies from the actual game case with an instruction booklet, full colored mind you, an art book, and a musical CD. This is kind of a nice small collector's edition. For the price point, you get a pretty good amount of stuff out of it. The Ultimate Edition includes a bit of all the DLC that are released, such as Pirate Queen's Quest, Friend to the End, Officer Mode, Ninja Mode, and Beach Mode. So you get a nice variation of outfits that you can use in the game, and you also get a few more smaller like DLC pack quests with it as well. Now, Shantae Half Genie Hero, you can save the day in this humongous, hilarious, high-def Ultimate Edition of Shantae's award-winning adventure, use new and familiar magic abilities, and the world's most powerful ponytail to battle foes and open up new areas to explore in this epic fantasy adventure. Now, this game is a successor to the Nintendo Game Boy Color game Shantae, and while I never got to play that, it is a very fun platformer game that harkens back to the older days when really platformers were the norm, and those were the games that were the most challenging. The game itself, I would argue, is a pretty good amount of time that you can kind of waste into it. I'm a couple hours in and I still haven't fully completed the game, and that's purely just due to the fact that how the game progresses, it forces you to go back to older maps with your newer abilities to discover different things, newer items you have to collect, and so on. So it kind of encourages you to go back and collect most of the stuff you can, and even if you aren't a 100% person that has to like absolutely find like every moon in Super Mario Odyssey, or find every little bit of secrets sprinkled throughout the game map, then you don't have to really worry about that, but there will be some backtracking in the game, so be visibly aware of that. Again, you can pick it up either physically at your local game store, a GameStop would be your best experience, or via digital on the Nintendo eShop. So last but not least is my recommended import title, and that is Taiko no Tatsujin Switch version, or for the English among you, Taiko Drum Master Nintendo Switch version. This game is an awesome rhythm-based game based around the taiko drums in Japan. They're kind of those nice loud gongi type style drums that just make me feel like a child again whenever I hear them. You probably have seen this arcade game pop up in a few other posts, and if you attend anime conventions, you probably see this also pop up in some arcades that come along with those. It's a very addictive rhythm game. It has everything from anime openings, J-pop, J-rock, K-pop, classical scores from the likes of Mozart, and also a few video game based tunes. This one, particular for Nintendo Switch, comes equipped with the Splatoon theme and Jump Up Superstar from Super Mario Odyssey, the shorter version mind you. And like most rhythm games, you have a multitude of ways you can play this. You can buy the $80 Taiko drum kit for the Nintendo Switch that gives you actual drumsticks and a drum pad that you can beat against. You can use the normal Joy-Con controls, the face controls for either your red notes or your blue notes, so you have that flexibility. Or if you don't want to spend the $80 on the Taiko drum kit and you want to use the Joy-Con motion controls, you're free to do that as well, and they work pretty darn good. About 95% of the time. There are some motion issues with the Joy-Cons that I've experienced, and I don't know if this is something they can patch in later updates, but just be mindful, it's not going to work 100%. I can't give you a comparison since I don't own the actual controller Taiko drums kit, but just be mindful of that going into this. You can import it from Japan right now for around $55 USD, which actually puts it $4 under a normal retail cost of $59.99. If you do want to wait for the actual English release though, physically, but I think we're only going to get it digitally, you can wait till about November and you can pick that up from the Nintendo Switch eShop. Or if you'd like, you can actually import it now through Play Asia, Amazon Japan, or get it digitally through Amazon Japan or Play Asia. You can get the English patch support right now since they actually just dropped that today on August 9th, so you can actually enjoy the English game already without really having to wait for it to come out later in the year. So that's going to do it for this recommendation list. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm trying something a little bit different and new, so hopefully you guys apologize any mistakes or odd stutters throughout the video. I try to edit them as great as I can. It's not going to be perfect. Face it, we're all human. And as always, links will be down in the description below to our Amazon affiliate store page with links to all these products. If you guys purchase through those, I get a little bit of a kickback, which then goes straight back into getting more product to feature on OtakuGamerZone.com. So as always, this has been Casas, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace!